know that when you have a purpose and a calling on your life, there's nothing that nobody, and nothing can happen. I am Angela C. Wright.
Over the top, the gotcha.
He said your numbers has shrunk. He said, I don't know how, why.
You're not gonna get like, you're gonna have to have mounds of security for me because you're not gonna get me.
If I wasn't depressed and going through what I was going through, I probably would have never started.
And this episode was brought to you by The Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Hey guys, welcome to another dope episode of Break Phree Podcast with your girl Free. And today I have someone that's here that's gonna tell us shed some light about our young people and gun violence and how we're losing them at rocket speed. So today I feel like will be really heavy, but it's definitely necessary. Y'all help me say hello to Bella.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Girl, thank you for coming so much. I really appreciate you, and I can imagine like that this is hard, but I see this is your purpose. This is what you do. This is your cause. That, that's your baby. So I know, so tell us about Devan. Devan, walk me through the night like that it happened.
Okay, so to the social media world, I am Zenbella. I'm a colon hydrotherapist, a celebrity colon hydrotherapist. So I am part of a organization. We travel the world, help people scale their business with spas more so to 6-7 figures. So this specific day, we was actually in Costa Rica. I had just bought my house. I needed a break. I'm like, hey. So I'm in Costa Rica. It was maybe 10 a.m. in the morning. And normally my kids know when I'm out doing production or anything, don't FaceTime me.
Yeah.
And so my son, at the time, 15-year-old, he FaceTimed me while I'm like presenting. So I'm like, hold on, y'all. Hello. And I just heard, Mama, Devan dead. And I'm thinking like maybe they playing a game. He butt dialed me or something. Maybe he talking like on a game or something like.
Yeah.
Huh? So I was like, hello? But Wolf is not an emotional kid. And he's not a cry. He's very introvert. So I looked down, and the look on his face, I heard what he said. And I just fainted. I fell to the ground. I just fell to the ground. Like, being a single mom, daddy left when I was married for 13 years. Left, cool, I got it. We still can do it. We still gonna make moves. Kids want new shoes, boo. I can fix almost anything. I can't fix this. To this day, I can't fix that. That's a hole for me. I can't fix it. So I got the call. It was only God. It was one seat on the flight. It was an hour and like 30 minutes time to get from the airport to our like cabana where we were staying.
So you immediately start making arrangements to get back home.
Oh, I didn't have to. Candace, she's over the leader of it.
Six-figure spot chick.
She was already on it. She like, get her back to the car. We'll send your bags. Like, just go. We just need her on that that one flight. To my understanding, I had like eight people already in Atlanta, already trying to book flights. I don't know if that's why it was only one seat, whatever. But they just was like, we got to get her here.
Yeah.
On the way there, the reception is bad, but I do recall talking to 3 people. I called my mom to see if it was real. I called my mom, and then one of Devan's friends was calling me to see if it was real. And I can't remember who the third person was, but it was 3 people that I spoke to. It was going in and out, kind of in and out, kind of in and out. Got to the airport, nobody spoke English. COVID, you had to have a test to get back in 21. They like, hey, it's like a 45-minute wait to get a test. All I kept saying is, my son, like, the lady, I don't know if the mother, she felt what I was saying. She got me back there. Got me on that flight. Customs stopped me because it's like, you just booked me there. Baby, y'all can have this stuff. You can keep it gone. I remember that. I remember sitting on that flight, and it was the longest flight in my life. And somehow I got a message of the article that they play on the news. And it was something I had been seeing like maybe 5 years ago. Like you have a deja vu.
A deja vu.
I was like, that's I used to see. I sat next to this guy. It was a white guy. And I was just crying. And I couldn't stop it. And I'm like, maybe Devan let somebody use his ID. Maybe somebody. It just ain't my son. I couldn't. And the man grabbed me. He said, I don't even want to know. And he just held me the whole flight. And when we got off on a little walkway, he grabbed me. He said, I'm on my way to New York to handle the same thing. And he left.
Get out of here.
No lie. He left. And you have to go back through the customs here. Mm-hmm. And I was so sick. Mm-hmm. I was so sick. Thank you.
No, you're fine.
I was so sick, and I could not stand, and the lines were so long. And so I found the guy and said, sir, please get me out. I'm about to faint. I got to call. My son is dead. And that man took me to the front of the line. And I remember, I don't know why I ended up calling my makeup artist. I said, hey, Kim, where you at? She was like, we about to go to the fair. I said, can you come get me from the airport? Devan's dead. Mm. And she literally got there maybe in like 10 minutes. And I remember getting off, because we stay in Stonecrest area, but I guess everybody was at my mom's house. And everybody was just calling. And I remember getting off on Wesley Chapel. I was like, just get off right here. And I got out, and I'm very transparent. When I got out that car, I went that way. It was just.
Oh, you was throwing up and losing your balance.
I was just out of it. I'm like, no. This can't be. This not real. And so when I got to my mom's house, when I tell you it was over 100 cars, because he was very well known in sports, and I knew then it was real.
Yeah.
And if I could be transparent, I jumped out where they at. Let's go. Take me to my house so I can get what I need. And everybody was like, calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. I need to see my son. Where's my son at? But it's Friday. So at that time, I don't have nothing. You just got to wait till they reach out to you.
The process, they don't let you come identify the body or nothing?
It's the weekend. It's just like jail. We'll get to you Monday.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get to you Monday. So as I'm sitting and I'm trying to hear, because you're going to hear so many different stories. So the story that I got was, so I'm out of town, so Devan was at a friend's house, and they were sitting out in the car, I guess, smoking, doing teenager stuff. Mm-hmm. They sit in the car, so it's the driver, my son, and 2 boys in the back, or 3 boys in the back. And whatever transpired in that conversation, my son Dreads got pulled to the back. They attempted to jump him, rob him. He got a fight. So they say they said he fought to be that many. The friend in the driver's seat supposedly ran and left him. So he's there
by himself.
Now the one in the middle is whose house he was at. I'm not understanding how he got left alive, mysteriously.
So they're trying to say that the 2 other boys in the back seat, they didn't know.
Well, so to get to that, the one in the middle is covered from head to toe. Once my family pulls up to his house, like, hey, what happened to what was going on? He's covered in Devan head. I think it was later on that afternoon. He's still covered in blood. He's still covered in my son's blood from head to toe. The one that's to the left is the one they caught 2 days later. Supposedly he was a robber. The one to the right, the mystery man, the one to the left saying he's not telling, he's too solid. So, to my understanding, they pulled up with the AR, after they was fighting and tussling. He got shot 3 times with an AR-15 and was left there to die. The neighbors in the neighborhood like, yeah, I seen them on the ground, but I just pulled in my driveway. It's been 2 years. The young man that they did have as of last, I think January the 4th, I believe it was, or 14th, they took his ankle monitor off, so he's just out free, waiting
for court.
Yeah, he hasn't been indicted. It's 2 years later. DeKalb County is so behind. They don't have staff. That's the answer I get. his case just keep jumping and jumping. And he has had bail twice on malice murder. That's the highest crime they have in Georgia.
The young man that was on the ankle monitor. Yeah. And they've taken the monitor off. And this is not his first time being in trouble for malice murder.
No. He's been on, so he got bail, he got out, violated, they let him back out. So that means he got bail twice.
Oh, okay.
Charge is still the same, but he got out. It's just been a nightmare. Like, we didn't just put Devan in the mausoleum. It's like, now the family's torn, you know? Yeah. I'm a lupus survivor. I have scoliosis, so I have 27 screws in my back and 2 metal rods that hold my spine. So for 10 years, I was bedbound. My son was 10, driving me around. So that was, he was just more than my son.
That's your oldest son.
That's my oldest son. That's who made me a mother. You know what I'm saying? He was with me through the trenches. Like, that was my boy. My daughter, she's now 10. She was left in my mailbox at 4 days old. He was feeding her when I couldn't move. You get what I'm saying? So he wasn't just like, if I could say the word, as they say, a little nigga on the street. He wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like he's getting treated as such. You know, when it's a cop or a kid getting killed by a cop, and no disrespect to them, they got resources, they got time. When it's a white woman getting slain, they got the resources, they got the time. Right. When it's a black person killing a black person, and I'm going to say black kid killing a black kid because that's what we see nowadays, they don't have time. When I call down there to talk to them, they talk to me so nasty. I don't get phone calls, I don't get updates, I don't even know what my son was wearing.
What you mean you don't know what he was wearing?
I don't know what he was wearing. They don't give you anything. We can't discuss anything with you. It may hinder the case. Nothing. I don't know what my son had on that night.
Also, when you went to identify him,
I worked at Levitt's funeral home, so you got to think it was right after COVID. They wouldn't let you go in the back. Identify the body, yeah. Levitt, he said, "I'm gonna let you back there." So when he went, he was just white gown, and he was so peaceful. I wanted to add this because I didn't know what happened. One of the driver that was there, I said, "Tell me what went on. Tell me what happened to my son." I'm asking him all these things. I said, I just got to know one thing, because he had, as you can see, Devan had the most prettiest skin ever, and the teeth of a goddess, real teeth. Yeah. And I said, I got to know this. How many times my son was shot? He said 6. I said, and once he shot in the face, he said, yeah, they shot him in the face like 6 times. So I was anticipating. I kept saying, this is why Levitt kept saying, no, you can't go see him. No. I said, no, I got to see my son. I got to see. Because the one thing I do, I'm very spiritual, and the thing I do know, the way a person looks when they pass is kind of how their soul left. So when I went and seen my son, I didn't cry. He looked like the baby picture and I used to look at him just laying there. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, whoo, number one, why you lie and tell me that? Why you had me wait all weekend to know my baby face wasn't this portion? Yeah. So some kind of threw me off with him. Some kind of threw me off, like, why would you even, like, what was your point of doing that? But he was peaceful. He was at peace. And I spoke to some people, and they like, Devan's okay. Like, I've never seen nobody brutally murdered, and when I kind of speak to them in spirit, they like I'm good. Normally it'd be like, he did his purpose on earth because he was 17. He's traveled different countries. He done what somebody 60 probably ain't ever experienced in life. And that makes me proud. Yeah. It was 500 people at his funeral, flying from everywhere because he played travel ball since he was 3. Oh, he played football or basketball? And baseball. Oh, okay. And he did baseball, football. The boy just was in anything, rapping, like he just did it. Talented. He was just that kid. Yeah. If he would have met you, oh, that's auntie now. He gonna get your number. Like, he was just that kid. Like, for somehow his Apple got connected to my phone. It was weird. So I could see how he had everybody in. It was auntie so-and-so, these like his friend's mom and da-da-da-da. Like, he is and was an amazing kid. And what they did to him, it just was not fair. Like, it's not fair. I'll never get justice, and something that just kind of, even when I'm trying to have a good day, I'll be like, even if they give these people 60 years, I don't get my baby back. Right. So the last court hearing, they're like, he's here. he wants to request to get the monitor off so he can look for a job and go to church.
And he know he probably ain't bit more going to church than the man in the moon.
They gave it to him.
Yeah.
My son can't go to church. So it's been a very tough journey. Everybody at that funeral that hugged you said they're going to be there. 80% and you ain't seen them.
Yeah.
Call me anytime you ain't seen them. The ones, even the ones I said, Devan, I don't really, them down. I don't feel them. They ain't. No, ma, that's my bro. Ma, no, they ain't like that. They ain't there. And I sometimes try to tell myself, these young kids, they suffering from PTSD. It's just not servicemen and women in the service that suffer from that. They're now living in a battlefield.
Yeah, they are.
So I know a lot of times I go to these events and they talk about kids because they came up in poverty and they're surrounded by this and they're in the hood and this ain't that.
That wasn't Devan's story.
Well, that most of the time I talk to, that ain't that. It's two-parent homes. They're, mom, maybe attorney, paralegal, nurses. Like, I don't know why that notion is out there that only the kids that are dying are hood gang. Bless you.
Thank you.
Hood kids, gang members, don't have mama. I know at the other evening they were saying moms out drinking and smoking and no.
No, I just think it's the generation.
And the music.
It's the generation.
And
it's the music. And also, too, I think, we had to take part of the responsibility because we were the generation before them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like our generation tried to just give our kids everything, everything they wanted. Mm-hmm. And, we hang out. We pay the babysitter or we leave them with grandma, and we out doing, other things. And then so they sat in front of the video game and the videos and the TV, the Grand Theft Auto. Mm-hmm. And I also believe, too, just that culture of Grand Theft Auto, those video games, the violence. And now it's almost as if our kids don't dream anymore. Or they feel like they don't have anything to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And then, too, it is a lot of kids who just don't know how to fight. We came up fighting. Whether we jumped people or however it went, we came up fighting. Nobody was you had maybe one person carrying a gun, but for the most part, you're fighting. But now it's like the whole crew got a gun and nobody wants to fight, and it's sad, but...
They had the razors. I'm from Atlanta.
Yeah.
The girls... I wasn't a fighter. I never got in a fight. But they was doing the little things with the razor. I'm going to cut your little face to let you know, but they ain't killing. Yeah. They had a conscience. Mm-hmm. I can't kill you and then just go act like nothing happened.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing. Mm-hmm. But now that's a thing.
It is.
And I want to touch on what you said about the Grand Theft Auto. Mm-hmm. They're making these games. So I have a spiritual advisor. Shout out to the Marys. And when I went through my divorce, I got her because it was just really that was the worst thing ever for me, ever.
Yeah, because you had been married for 13 years.
Yeah, young and everything. This is all I knew was to be a mom, right? So I got Damaris and just helped me just see things a little bit clearer and just learn to love myself, right? But I was talking to her, and I said, Damaris, what's going on? She's like, look, I have a lot of moms or parents reach out to me after losing a kid, and, she let me know, hey, yours was, it's pure when I talk to Devan and talk about Devan. So she said, well, let me tell you what's going on. Possession is real. Mm-hmm. What you see on TV, whether you want to say witchcraft or however you want to put it, whatever you feed yourself. See, I'm a colon hydrotherapist, so I understand the body and how it works. Mm-hmm. Whatever you put into yourself, that's what you're going to get. But it's not just what you put orally into yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So if you sitting up here looking at killing all day long, it's your norm. You're not going to have a conscience if it happened to cross you, right? So she's like, they're making the games so realistic and real. So these kids' minds are now thinking, oh, I shot him 3 times. He going to get up. Mm-hmm. They're being programmed to think that.
Yeah.
That's not real. I ain't just shoot my friend and he gonna get up.
Yeah.
Get Up Twin or how they can make the little things move and be real. Mm-hmm. They make it so realistic, and you got to think these are kids' minds who aren't developed.
Yet. Yeah, and especially boys. Boys develop way slower than girls. You get what I'm saying?
And then they not eating healthy. They eating Takis, Funyuns, ramen noodles, all this mucus forming food, and then I'm watching killing people that look real all day.
Yeah.
So if I get in a situation because I ain't never really been in one like that, I know I got this gun because it was cool. Let me shoot it. But then guess what? If he fall, he gonna get up.
Yeah. But they never get up.
They never get up.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real. For real. For real.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot. It is a lot with that TV and the stuff that we allow our kids to consume, and just the attitude and the mindset. And I don't just blame it on the kids themselves. I blame it on parents too, because at the end of the day, we have to get to a point where you're not my friend. I'm your mother. You get what I'm saying? And my son, both of my boys, they're grown, but they already know don't disrespect me. Don't cuss in front. If you choose to curse, you curse around your friends and stuff. You don't curse in front of me. Yeah, so I think it's just a lot, and it's sad that now it's our children dying and it's not even us that's dying.
And with me again having 4 chronic illness, I always prepared Devan, like if I go,
you gotta
this
take
is
care.
blah 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 blah. This is that. This is the safe deposit. This is this. This is your Turo. This is your Airbnb. Like I had him prepared, because with lupus you just never know.
Yeah.
So I had him prepared and mentally. We had talks about death, so I knew he wanted his funeral set up like a production.
He did.
Yeah, baby, we went 40K. We
Y'all
went big on
did.
big. We went big. But I grieved that way. Like, I was like, no, y'all ain't finna just put my son in the dirt. Da, da, da. Like, I grieved and was like, no, you gonna know who he is. It was just, oh no, you ain't finna do that one. You ain't finna do, this ain't gonna be no $2,500 one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But me and him had a conversation, because I had just, in June, I had went to Lyric Chanel. She was one of my clients, passed away of brain cancer. So we went to her. T.I. done performed. It was just big.
Yeah.
It was huge. It was massive. And he was like, Mama, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay. So it was just, God set it up how it needed to be. Me and him had conversations. I knew what colors he wanted. Like,
and you never would have thought that
I
it was
didn't
gonna
think
happen.
6 months later, he would be putting me, I would be putting him in a
away.
wall somewhere. Like, it said something, I'd just be like,
And how were the other kids coping with their sibling being gone?
Devan passed away 6 months before graduation. 6 months before graduation. So now Wolf is graduating. He's a senior. That's just so major to me. I just hug him sometimes and be like, you real strong. Like most people, as they say, crash out when they lost somebody so close to them like that.
Yeah, because they were only 2 years apart.
2 years apart. Like, that was his everything. Like, that was his everything. And he told me one day, and we kind of bumped it. He's like, you don't know how I feel. What? I birthed him. He was like, nah, that's my big, like, that's his
big
daddy,
brother.
his brother, his cousin, his everything, and I had to sit down and marinate on that. Like, I am his mom, and I feel that I made him. And I was like, but he wouldn't have been here without me. So I stopped and said, you know what? You're right.
To honor his feelings.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because what Devan was to me was to me. How he was to you was to you.
Right.
And I'm not a person that believe blood make you family. So I definitely had to stop and be like, understand where he coming from.
Right.
Like,
understand
you his
him.
mom, but that's
This his
from
brother.
his point of view. You get what I'm saying?
This is brother's best friend.
You get what I'm saying? So you may have a blood sister that you ain't really close with, but then you lose a best friend who you talk to every day. Y'all did everything together. Y'all. So you get what I'm saying? I had to resonate like, yeah, I get you. I get it. But for you to still be going to school, we have our little tough times when he kind of be like, man, it's tough. But overall, I'm proud of him.
Yeah. I am too, that he's still in high school.
I can't wait to see him go across the state. We're going to act a fool.
I already know you are. I know you're going to have all the
told
regalia,
everything that
everything.
Devan's supposed to got, it's going to be big on big. Like, he wanted, and it's funny because I laugh, I'm like, Devan, you wanted this scat pack to put on this tour once he was in the Navy. I said, your funeral cost more than a scat pack. So you got it. So, but Wolf is a little more introvert, so he'd be like, I don't want to go to the prom. I don't want to. I said, oh, we doing everything.
Yeah. So Devan was going to go to the Navy.
E3, because he did 4 years of ROTC.
Okay.
So after we left an event last week, I was in Applebee's, and the lady came up, and she was like, what's going on? I see everybody. And I gave her his little info card. She came back. She said, I'm actually a E6 in the Navy. I'm the person who give the fallen soldiers their flags. She gave my son his honors in Applebee's.
She did.
She was like, ROTC is considered the beginning.
Yeah.
She was like, so technically it was just everything.
I know that was
to me. 'Cause
emotional.
I was like, I don't even know if I go to Applebee's. Like, why is we in Applebee's anyway?
Yeah.
But it was just God just kind of put you in places. So I think with the kids seeing me how hard I go, I did a documentary, and like I say, he never really says much. He spoke so well. And he was like, I never seen somebody go so hard for their kid. Like, and that just made me proud. Like, my kids see it. Like, my mama love us. It's one thing, she hard on us, but I know, like, she ain't playing.
Yeah.
She ain't playing. She dead serious about us.
Yeah.
So my son, who's 12, he's just a mini Devan. I feel like he's Devan reincarnated. I try to, like, not
say it to him or, yeah.
Oh, my God, the body shape, the way he talk, just kind of everything. He's just
Devan all over
a
again.
light-skinned Devan. And then my daughter, so he had his relationship kind of with everybody. She's the only girl.
Yeah.
He ain't play no games. He used to be like, Mama, you ain't never get no boyfriend. Like, we got videos of him doing her hair, combing her hair. Like, so everybody takes it bad. That was her older brother. That was the one who was
like
happy
a dad.
when I
Yeah,
and then Deshaun, he was the cool brother. And Wolf was like a little nerdy kid that was an introvert, but now he's so almost famous now because
his brother.
And I just don't think he know what to do with it. To be honest, he like, this is a lot.
It's
like,
too much.
Oh, you both brother. Like, it's like a lot. So he like taking it in. The girls like, oh, you Devan brother. Like, so we trying to cope. And now I guess because it's going around so much with the killings of young kids, it's like almost indicator. I'm like the one to call if somebody passed, and we was going on these little funeral. Anytime somebody called, I'm there. It just became too much.
So I see you started Justice for Devan. Tell me about it.
So the Justice for Devan movement came about. Of course, Devan was murdered, but I feel like no. I want everybody to know who Devan was. Like,
that's right.
This is my Gucci, my Louis, my Dior. This is what this is. This Dolce & Gabbana. This is what my kids wear every day. My man got an embroidery company. Like, whenever I feel like I get an idea, we branded it.
Yeah.
Like, we stamped, we linked in.
Well, you need to go ahead and trademark it, but go ahead. Yeah.
Did that too.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
But I that was just my part of grieving, was like, no, I'm not just going to bury my 17-year-old. Like, no, I'm not. And I thought about it. I'm like, this is, people do stuff to make most people do stuff to make a monetary amount behind it, right? This is so passionate for me. Like, it's so real deal. In August of 2020, I got shot in the back with a 45. So I'm a gun violence survivor as well.
With a 45?
With a 45. I'm 5 foot. The average man couldn't walk into the ambulance.
That's what I'm saying.
I really don't want to touch it too, because it's like, when I tell y'all, it's a dark part of my life I try to like bury. Just know.
You can't bury
I ain't
it,
new
though.
to this. Like, and I drive a Porsche, and that's what I was told. You shouldn't drive this type of car in this neighborhood. That's what the detective said. I never heard from that detective ever again in my life. Never, ever.
Oh, they was trying to carjack you.
Kind of, sort of. But let's just say I kind of know the person. So it's one of them situations, right? But I can't nobody try to, it's like double time hit for me, because I know y'all didn't do nothing for justice for me. I survived. Y'all ain't doing nothing for my son who didn't survive, right? So it's real personal for me.
Yeah.
It's real personal, right? And I get up every day in pain. I may don't say it, in pain, burning, not feeling good, but I got to do this because I'm two
gotta
parents.
keep his legacy going.
I got to. And then I'm a business owner, so this is how I survive, right? I got to every day. But the average person go to work, they do jobs so they can get a raise. The average person go to school so they can get a degree, so they can get something. I do this, I ain't gonna never get justice for Devan, because no matter what, I'm never gonna get justice for Devan. That's a hard pill, but I'm gonna do it because I want to show the other parents, the other siblings, like, hey, we ain't got to just put our kids in the ground, put them in the wall, wherever you may say, and just have to give up on it. Like, keep fighting. Like, I think a mother's love is the highest love you can have. I just personally would not feel right just October 30th closing that little thing and just be like, oh, yeah, I had 4 kids, and that's just not my personality. Like, that's just, I fought hard for my health. I was wheelchair bound with an oxygen tank. I forced myself to get healthy. I'm going to force myself to get up every day and make Justice for Devan a movement. When you see us, you're going to be like, oh, that's Devan. That's Devan's family.
Why do you feel like you won't get justice for him?
I never get my son back. It's no
and that's
justice.
your justice, yeah.
You never. They can give him 100 years.
Yeah, but it really wouldn't matter. Yeah.
I still won't.
My son.
I will feel better. Mm-hmm. I will feel a little better, but I would never, as a parent, get justice for taking a life. A life don't have a sentence behind it. A life doesn't have a monetary amount behind it. So you can give him, you can take his life. I personally still would never get justice. Mm-hmm. You can inject them with the lethal stuff.
Would you want that?
Yeah.
Were you honest?
Yeah. I don't think it's fair on Thanksgiving and Christmas you get to be with your family and we crying at a gravesite. I don't think that's fair. You know, I don't think that's fair. Now, I personally probably wouldn't want them to tragically die. Yeah. Because I have a conscience and I'm a mom and I know what it feels like to be the mom to lose a kid. Whether they right or wrong, they're still yours. Mm-hmm. You know? And I tell that to people all the time. Y'all can say however you say on both sides. There's a right side and a left side in a courtroom. Both sides still hurt because they love somebody. Either it's the one that's deceased or the one who did the killing. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get that because I'm a real person. Now, if so happen you flipped over in a car accident, you get a chronic illness or something, I'm just gonna be real. You know, I don't feel like you should be breathing, but I'm just not a heartless person to be like, yeah, I feel like you should get shot in the head, and you know, I ain't telling nobody to go out there and kill to get justice for my son.
But you definitely would want the government to like seek the death penalty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would, and I would sit on the front row.
You would sit on the front row?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever question God?
I didn't. Because I always knew this, being spiritual, earth is temporarily.
Right.
One thing you're promised is a birthday and a death day. And I knew that even because you got to think, I went through a period of dying with my sicknesses. Mm-hmm. So I already knew that. Like, I always preach that. Don't be sad. Don't do this because you already know it's coming. It's kind of, what's the word I want to use? It's kind of crazy. Let's just say crazy to think I'm not going to die. Mm-hmm. He never said you're not gonna die at 2, 3. You got people losing their baby at 3, 4 days. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had mentally, I guess, going through the years of being sick, I already said that and prepared myself. Like, we can't say, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up. Oh, we make plans. I'm very proactive. Stuff change every day.
Yeah, God giveth, God taketh away.
You get what I'm saying? So we can't say Devan wasn't supposed to pass away at 17, but the way he passed. Mm-hmm. You know, so I talked to a lot of mothers' kids died of diseases, car accidents. For me, this was a person who did this, and that ain't how that's supposed to go. You ain't supposed to be able to say, my day ends today. This is just really how I feel.
Yeah. And so you go around now when you speak and you tell everybody. Tell us about the stuff you have.
So when Devan passed away, maybe that was October. My birthday is in December. I said, you know what?
You Capricorn?
Sagittarius, you know, the best.
No.
Okay. We can bake that later. So what I did, I woke up, I said, for my birthday, you know, I think I may be at like 75K of my own money because I was scammed 3 times out of Justice for Devan nonprofit.
Why? Like how? Or trying to get someone to start the nonprofit?
Hey, we're going to start for you, sis. We charging 5, we charging 6, we charging this. So I pretty much was scammed. Somebody even scammed me out of a TED Talk. We like set up a whole studio, said it was gonna be a tech talk about gun violence, and so
baby, these people in Atlanta don't play.
Baby, I said, y'all stealing for a dead kid. Okay, that's how we move. And so I what I did was I do plenty of interviews with like Fox 5, so they followed his story. Mm-hmm. So I went out, I did things I know to do for branding and marketing. I just put it into Just for This. So this is another business for me. Mm-hmm. And I went out and I pass out the flyers. I give them out. It's the whole movement. We have the pins. We have the wristbands, the hats. I got all colors, like all kind of lancets. So again, visibility, if you know in business, you can have a great idea. You can have a great movement. If I don't see it, it's not there. Mm. So my goal is to
make sure it's always
there.
It's
a household brand right here.
Yeah.
I promise you, at the airport, people running up. That's Devan's mom. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that's my name now, Devan's mom. Like,
yeah. I'm okay with it.
Forget the other kids. Forget the other kids. There ain't nobody.
Forget that I call myself Bella.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Devan's mom. So, it's been doing pretty well. I go places and they recognize it. You know, I make it very flashy. So you be like, hey, who's Devan? I have little kids walk up. Or they'll say Devan or something, but like they're intrigued. Like, hey, who is this lady wearing this brand? Because she's wearing it like it's Gucci. She's wearing it like it's something, you know?
And it means more than Gucci.
And you get like it's very much so. So
where can people find? Where can they buy the hats? The regalia? Where can they buy the stuff?
So
do you sell it?
Yeah, we do. So Justice, do it for Devan. So it's do it the number 4 and Devan, Devan. That's his page. And then again, we're tied into Zenbella _ That's my business page, because anyone that's grieving, I want them to know you have to detox and take care of yourself. As stated, if you're eating BS, you're feeding your mind BS. When you're grieving, you need to detox. You need to get all that stuff off. You need to reset. So I teach about that too. Justice for Devan, like it's a whole mural in my office. Like, so it ties into, and Devan was the one who helped me set my office up. So that's his office too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about healthy, like healthy wise. And like I say, these kids, if they start eating better, stop watching, feeding the body, the soul,
and the spirit.
Right.
Feeding the spirit.
I think they'll get a better experience of life. Like, what is life? What is a human? We got to start loving more on people and realize, like, this is a person. Like, I don't think people really value human life anymore. Every April, they do a gun violence memorial here in DeKalb County, but it's for the state of Georgia. The first year I went, Devan died in October. We went in April. It was 483 people. It's like a room. It's like a big church, like a basement. And you go find your loved one's name. And it's like almost like 9/11. Like it's a walk. It's crazy. And when you go to stuff like that, you be like, I have to be a change. Everybody want to go do podcasts, do these events, and say what they gonna do. Everybody say they gonna be the change. Let's start being the change. Like, I'm doing the work, and I'm the griever. Yeah, I ain't telling you what I think it feel like. This is what it feels like, and I'm gonna be the change. Like, I'm going to be the change. There's plenty of mothers coming like, I don't ever want to talk about it. I say, so you just don't talk about your kid no more. They're like, I just can't. I'm gonna die. I just can't. I got you, sis. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, do it for Devan and for the others.
We're gonna do it for all the fallen angels. That's who we're gonna do it for. I call them sky angels. I'm gonna do it for them. So,
do you go to the schools and talk about gun violence?
I do. Even if I'm going for Zenbella, I still
slide it in,
because it's part of my uniform now. So they're like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "So this is what happened." Yeah, And so kids are very smart these days. So they get it, and they be so manable, so respectable. They come up, ma'am, I'm sorry for your loss. Like, we talking about elementary kids, like they get it, because they either seen or say favorite rapper get killed. So they get it.
Understand.
They understand.
So what do you see for Justice for Devan?
So
like, what is it like? What is one of your
my number one goal is I pray and I burn a candle that inflict packet is gonna land, and I don't want to call the boy's name. His somewhere in his hand, or his mama's hand, or his family hand, and they say, that little boy you used to hang with, what happened? And hopefully something. That's my whole point.
The other one that was in the car.
The shooter.
Oh, so the one that's out on the ankle monitor, he wasn't the shooter.
He's solid. He's not going to tell who the killer was. He's solid. He said, I'm not telling. He's not telling. So my goal is...
What about the one in the driver's seat that got out and ran?
All of these, everybody else is a witness. That's how they're on the report. They're witnesses. They weren't charged, they witness. So that's what I'm trying to get. Everybody get charged. You don't want to talk, everybody take the charge. Everybody get malice murder. Let's do that until somebody tell.
Did the driver know the back seat, the other person?
He said he did. He said he didn't even stay here. Come to find out, he stayed 5 minutes across the road. So we're gonna again, the more I speak about it, it's gonna reach somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Hopefully this little pamphlet, somebody be like, You know?
And you continue to talk to your father.
Absolutely.
He knows all, he sees all, And just continue to ask God to guide you, guide your steps, guide your heart, to make sure it's nothing within you. Not that God doesn't see it, but sometimes, we can, because we holding something, we can't get something else. You get what I'm saying? So you just, you know what the words say. What's done in the dark will come to the light. So it'll come to the light. It's just a matter of time. you know, and during this time, just continue. I pray that God continue to give you the peace to go on to carry Devan's legacy and to do the work that you're doing, to have the strength to go out, to talk to crowds, and that, you know, you not only touching moms, but you're touching other children that they see to put the guns down.
Right.
Yeah. Pass me one of the hats, please.
You want black or white?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna go with white.
Oh, you brought these for us?
Yeah,
Okay.
this for y'all.
Y'all, I want y'all to make sure y'all support Justice for Devan. Remember, you can find it at Do It for Devan. That's DOIT, the number 4, Devan. D as in dog, E as in Edward, V as in Victor, AN. Y'all, let's support this queen so we could keep this movement going and his legacy will not die. And not only that, you're helping to support the family. You're helping to support, not that she need it because she might got a couple dollars from me, but that you're helping it to go on and to grow, and that his nonprofit can reach the masses, and that we can bring, you know, the shooter, that we could bring him to justice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yep.
you.
So this is Break Phree Podcast. I cannot let you leave without telling me something that you feel like you need to break free from.
I need to break free for trying to think I can control the narrative on everything. That's my thing, and I just go so hard.
Yeah.
Like, girl, let God run this ship.
Let God be God.
Let Him be God.
Thank you so much for coming through, for sharing your story. And, of course, we're going to have a hat here always, and
Thank
the
you.
lanterns and everything, and anything that we can do. If you need to come back, if there's something that you haven't for Devan or whatever, if you need us to put something on social media, whatever you need us to do, if it's something that we can do, me and my team, we're more than willing to do it for you. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And y'all, today's episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full scene marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Thanks for joining me today. Remember, it's always delusion until they see it happen. I pray that you was touched today, and I pray that Bella's strength has given you some strength to get through the grief that you're battling, to talk to somebody, to talk it out, and to walk out your grief. And thank you again, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture.